My kid was ball busting me hard, and in the worst awkward position I could possibly be in. And it gave me some clarity on why you need to respond instead of react. And I'm going to get into this story, but it's so good, but at the same time it's so frustrating sometimes. So stick around, we're going to jump in, and I'm going to tell you all about my 7-year-old busting my balls.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ball busting. Your kids are going to ball bust. It's just a part of growing up and learning. They're going to get to you. They're going to push your buttons. They're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But this particular situation, we're climbing. We're at this climbing wall. It's the winter time and it's just before Christmas, and my friend's got a little 6-year-old and I want him to meet my 7-year-old. So we get them together. We go to this climbing wall. And first impressions and everything, right? Kids are running around, they're having a great time, and there's this really hard climb. And I'm like, I'm gonna try that one. And there's these big purple noodle things that are sticking out, and they're like branches that are cut off. And I'm like, oh, I could really grab onto those. And it looks easy, but it's so much trickier because once you get your weight onto it, it just slides and you can't hold on. It's too big to get a grip on. And I even got like some crazy rug burn from it, and it really hurt. And it was a nasty climb that really I wasn't ready for. And the problem was my friend sitting there, and her son's there, and both my sons are running around and they're going nuts. And I'm trying to climb this thing, and I'm completely upside down, hanging from these branch things. And my son's like, no, he's not going to do it. You suck. You're not going to do this. And he starts really busting my balls about this. And I'm like, whoa, buddy. And I'm trying to climb on this wall. And I'm like, whoa, help me here. He goes, no, you're not going to make it. You suck. You're not going to do this. And I was like, I could feel the anger welling up in me. And I could feel this embarrassment coming because this is the first time my friend is meeting my son. And she's like, no, you got to support your dad and blah, blah, blah. No, he's not going to get it. And I got to this part. It was real tricky, and I couldn't do it. And I just let go, and I fell, and it sucked. It just sucked. So I went over, and I'm like, dude, you gotta kind of help support me. You gotta be there for me in this. And then she got into it too and was like, oh no, when your dad's doing something hard like that, you gotta, you're on the same team and we gotta work. And I could see that we were kind of ganging up on him. And I said, you know what? We'll talk about this later. Go climb. I need a break, right? Like just go run around. So he runs off and blah, blah, blah. And we talk and we did the climbing and everything. But it stuck with me and I wanted to hit it later. And I didn't react. I didn't get mad in the moment, but I wanted him to know that it wasn't okay. So that night, and we have our bedtime routine. There's a great book called the Zen Dad Method Bedtime Routine that you can get for free. My gift to you for listening to this podcast, this show. Go to the ZenDadMethod.com and put in DADGIFT, and you'll get the Zen Dad Method Bedtime Routine for free. So in my routine, we go to bed, we chill them all out and everything. But at night, it's a really great time to connect and talk about things that happened in the day. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to do that about this. And I thought about it. And how do I want to tackle this situation? And so after we read our books and we have our conversation after, and we just talk about some of the things that happened during the day, I said, when I was trying to climb that really hard, difficult climb, I think it was a G5 or a G6 or something like that, if you know climbing at all. But when you were saying that, when you said that I sucked and I couldn't do it, that really got to me, and it really got in my head, and it made it so that I couldn't do it, and it was really tough. And I think we can support each other. And when we support each other, it's a lot easier for us to get things done when you have somebody backing you. And he kind of got it, and we talked about it a little bit. And I reinforced that idea throughout the week. And the next weekend, we went there with some other friends. And I'm like, I'm gonna hit that again. I'm gonna try and do it. But this time, I asked him to record it. I said, record it, and I want you to just say some positive things. yeah, you can do it. Yeah, go dad, whatever comes to your mind, and just record that and see how we do. So this is the actual recording of that climb that I did. So check it out.
There's the top one up there.
It's open.
Purple tape.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh yes, he can make it. He can make it. Yeah, he can make it. He can make it.
So when you look at that and you can hear him saying, yeah, you got this. Like for me at that moment, I was like, oh my God, I have to get this. Like I got to do that. And like muscles were shaking and it's such a tricky climb to get around. But I knew at that moment, what a life lesson to show my son that when he supports somebody, when we work together and somebody's got your back, you can do anything. And that's really important. And I was like, there was nothing that was going to stop me from getting to the top of that purple climb, completely upside down, and I had to swing around the side. It was crazy hard, and I think it looks pretty easy, but it's not. So I got up there, I got down, and I went over to him, and he stopped right away. And he I wish there was more of the recording, but he stopped right away. And I went over to him. I said, see what we can do when we support each other? And he goes, Dad, that was a lot better. Great job. And he hugged me and he said, I like doing that more. And it was so cool because in that instant, he understood the difference in the same situation, the same climb. Like it was almost the identical thing, but with him acting completely different. And then the outcome was different. What a fantastic life lesson that this kid just learned. 7 years old. He knows the effects of ball busting and he knows the effects of support. So, I mean, it's not like he stopped ball busting altogether. I mean, when we play Mario Kart, it's pretty game on. Like, we're going pretty hard. Oh, did that red shell get you? Sorry, that's what second place feels like. But we do that stuff and it's fun and it's part of it because he's got to learn those things and when to stop and when it's too much. So for me, in those situations, what I find really helps, instead of reacting, because I mean, there was part of me that really wanted to be like an angry dad that just was so pissed off that he was doing that to me in a public place. And there wasn't anything that I could do about it when I was up on the wall, But because I can like control my breath and it was in a very intense situation physically, and then mentally it's really hard because I couldn't figure out exactly how to do it. But then to add on that other layer, that other stress of your son acting in a way that you found was inappropriate, that adds another layer of complexity to the situation. And for me, what I find is when I am in a good place mentally, when I have done the meditations, when I've had a cold shower that day, it makes my fuse that much longer. I can take on more stress than I normally would because I've already put the work in the morning or whether at school or whatever it is. And, I've done my exercises or I've eaten right. My head's in a good place. When those situations come up, I'm not reacting. And I'm like, okay, how do I want to handle this one? And I've got a lot of clarity around who I want to be in those situations because it's not such a triggered response. It's more of a calm and clarity. So the reason I like this story so much is because now when I talk to my son about, going into a team sport or when he's not playing, he can also add energy to his teammates by supporting them with positive words, or just saying good job means a lot. And if you're looking for an outcome as a team, this is how you work as a team. And I can reference back to this situation when we're in that situation, So now I've got something to go back on for years to come. Say, remember when we were at that climbing wall and you were just on me, you were busting my balls and I couldn't do the climb. But then we went back a week later And when you were supporting me and you were giving me some positive encouragement, well, then I got all the way to the top. And I couldn't do it before. I didn't know how to do it. And you know, once you were encouraging me, it gave me that extra energy. It gave me that extra boost to get me up there. So how about we're going to do that now? You know, pep talks before he goes into a game or when he's trying to figure something out for school or whenever. This is how we connect with our kids on a way that is going to support them through whatever challenges come their way. I hope that you can take something from this story for your kids so that when you get into a similar situation, maybe you can think about how to respond to it and maybe reenact that situation in a way where they can support you through it. And then you can use the same kind of techniques for your kids to, you know, have a little less stress in your life. So if you want to learn more about this stuff, you can go to www.zendadmethod.com and check out how to become a Zen dad yourself. And it's not about always having the answers, but it's just about being on the journey of discovery and learning from other dads and learning the techniques that are going to make your life a lot easier and make your kids learn and flourish and thrive in a world that is just getting more and more complicated every day. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next show.